MTGV CRIME TV. It don't matter the color of the skin, either woman or man. Just let the case land. It's here, it's in safe hands. This is God work, not a fake plan. Too many kids being found in these lakes, man. This is MTGV, and you with Miss V.
Welcome in, everybody.
To the street, a drum to a beat. This is the place that you wanna be. But all trolls we delete, you better believe. Just so you know.
Please smack that thumbs up.
For those that's taking these souls, we know.
Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not. Today we're going to be talking about Javion with his parents, his mom Teirra, and his bonus dad Marcus.
Thank you for tuning in to MTGV True Crime TV. Y'all know what it is, man. Team Vibe, Miss V. And make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And make sure you leave a comment too. Yeah. We're going to see you on the flip side, man. Until then.
Welcome in. Shout out to everybody in the chat. So today we have Marcus and Teirra here, and we're going to be talking about Javion in depth. Let me remove his handsome face. Welcome in to his mom and bonus dad Marcus. Thank y'all so much for coming in to talk to us. Let me turn this music all the way down.
No problem.
Like I was saying, yeah, it's I'm really sad that we have to meet under these circumstances, but I want y'all to know that we have y'all back 1,000% over here. I mean,
thank you.
From the moment it happened, from the moment I seen it, I was very interested in finding out what happened. So I just want to give y'all an opportunity to let everybody know in your words what happened to your son.
Okay, no problem. Okay, what I feel like happened is I did feel like that he may have encountered or maybe got into a altercation. I do feel like that. And that altercation went too far. I do believe that they waited until early morning. I do believe that to attack him and unalive my child. That's what I believe. And I do believe that TNR, had a something to do with it. And I'm surprised at that because we actually went to meet them, and the wife hugged me as if she was, so sorry and empathetic, and we talked to the owner, her husband, and he acted like he was concerned, but the whole time, you were the caller that actually called it in and laughed. I heard the laugh. You admitted to us that you called it in. You were the one that called it in. So, and then coming to find out that you put that narrative out there that he did unalive himself, that tells me more about that you may have been involved in this situation instead of, coming forward for whatever reason. So that's my side. I'm sticking to it. That's my story.
Yeah. And that sounds about right. As far as you believe that they did come back in the middle of the night, and I had a scenario for that.
Yeah.
So Marcus, what do you believe happened?
I'm gonna say about the same. I know my son wouldn't do this to himself. First of all, I know he was in good spirits. I know he was on his way to see us after that load. He already made plans to do things. And it's unfortunate that we couldn't do, what we talked about and that this happened. But I do believe TNR has something to do with it. Because, just talking to, what's his name, Roy Patrick, whatever, Ray
Patrick.
Yeah. So talking to him, pulled him to the side, and it's like, you get that feeling like somebody he wanted to say, I hope everything y'all find out everything, man. I hope y'all get some kind of clarity from this. But then it's like he was trying to go away from telling me certain stuff. Like he would always, well, man, I'm sorry. I asked a question, why I'm sorry and this and that. And for the fact that you could tell me that you was a fire, I used to be a firefighter,
a first responder,
as he says, and that, I just kind of flat out asked him, like, do you think he could have did this? Well, man, I'm sorry for what happened. I can't really say, but I'm like, okay,
anything is possible.
Yeah, anything is possible. I'm like, no, that's not possible. But yeah, so we're just trying to get down to the bottom of it, man. And I'm trying to figure out why they would go through so much.
He's a child, 21-year-old. Yeah, he's
to cover this up. Like,
yeah. And very. I want to put it out there. Like, I hope that they are listening, because they are a bunch of cowards. You go tuck your tail. You do this, and then go tuck your tail like little cowards. Yeah. Own up to it. Own up to it. If you that brave, own up to it.
So that's what they had to say to the owners. It's been over a month now at this point, and y'all don't know anything more than before.
Nothing new.
Other than what you guys have helped out with. Nothing new from especially from the cops. Nothing new. No,
nothing from the investigation.
They're not, and they're not searching for any. They're not searching for it. So
yeah, it just sounds like they already made a decision, and
they made their decision. They're trying to close it out that way.
And it's the wrong thing to do. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I know y'all heard the guy, the owner of the lawn care service that actually found Javion and what he said.
Exactly.
What are y'all feelings about that?
Kind of figured that. About time. I thank him for that, even though he might get some backlash from him. When we don't want, nothing to happen to nobody else. But I'm just saying, I'm glad that he
finally spoke
up and said something.
Yeah.
Because evidently they're trying to go back and scare some folks to shut up, I guess.
And they've been doing that since day one. I had someone reach out to me and told me that, hey, they're scaring people, and people are scared to turn in videos to the cops because they know what they're gonna do with them.
Which making them look more guilty.
Yeah.
So.
That's crazy in itself. That the community is afraid.
Yeah.
So as far as the long guy that found them, did y'all try to call or anything to say anything to the sheriff? Because he said call him 24/7. We got that on recording.
Yeah, we got it on recording, but you cannot speak to that.
So what happens when y'all call? Have you called since the interview with Taylor to find out anything?
I've called one time, and it's just he wasn't in the office. He'll give you a call back, and still waiting on that call. So yeah, nothing.
Wow, that is so sad. So one of the things I wanted to know, the way that we found out about Javion was through TikTok. Can y'all tell us who that was that let us know what was going on?
Yes, that is my beautiful cousin Stormy, who I thank her. Yes, she basically made her own newscast, and I appreciate her. She is. Oh my God!
Did you know she was gonna do that?
No,
we didn't know.
No idea.
We didn't know at all.
I had no idea.
It just popped up, and everybody was like, "Man, Stormy got a story out," and I was like, "Huh?" So we found it.
Yeah, and
so
pretty much.
Go ahead. No,
pretty
go ahead.
much all the cousins, like all his cousins.
Yeah.
They went to bat. Yeah. Just finding out information. My niece, who was real close to him, she's the one that reached out to TNR to ask. So they were on it from day one. So I appreciate them.
Wow. So let's remember what Stormy told us about Javion.
Hey y'all, I would have never thought I had to make this kind of post on my TikTok, but my family desperately needs your help. This is my little cousin, Javion Magee. He's from Chicago, Illinois. He was 21 years old and would have been 22 in a few weeks. He was found hanging from a tree in Henderson, North Carolina yesterday. He drove trucks, so that was his reason for even being out there. The police officers are trying to say that he went to Walmart and purchased the rope and hung himself. We obviously don't believe that, and we are just asking for your help to push his story out there. This isn't covered on any local platforms. No news stations, radio, none of that. So we're trying to push it out there. We really need your help. The police officers in the coroner's office are giving us a hard time, not allowing his mom to identify the body. At one point, they told her she can't identify the body due to COVID. And then the next day, today, they told her the father has to give her permission for that, which he said that he would. She asked if they could send her pictures at least. They told her yes, and then turned around and told her, oh, I don't think that you want to see your son like that. Come on. Like, this is just very devastating for my family, and we really need to push this story out there. So if y'all could please repost this video, keep saying his name, Javion Magee, hashtag justice for Javion, and we are going to fight for him, and we are standing behind my cousin 100%, and they're not getting away with this. So please share this video. Thank you. Hey y'all.
Yep.
A reaction to that.
I'm lost for words. Like I say, we did not expect her to do that. Didn't even know. But I'm glad. I'm so glad and proud of her that she even did that.
Yes.
From there, people started sharing, and I thank everybody. I really do, because I wanted to get that narrative off my son's name, because
Exactly.
I know he did not do that.
Yeah. Nobody wants that on their child. It's really devastating when they want to tell you something without even knowing your child. You've been knowing them all his life, but they're telling y'all what he is and who he is.
Absolutely.
So that is devastating. But did they really tell you all that? You got to get the dad permission. You got to COVID restrictions.
The first couple of days that was all that we heard, like asking on the 11th, the day it happened, that we got the news. We was asking for information, asking for pictures, asking for whatever y'all got in the investigation, could you send it to us? And the first thing Detective Bishop said was, well, his dad was the only name on the emergency contact, so we have to get permission from him to give y'all any of the evidence, pictures, or anything. So we fought that for 2 days. And in those 2 days, the story had changed. So that's when the red flag started to go up. And I'm like, well, hold on. And, we just tried to ask some specific questions because we're trying to find out, what's going on. So we asked to clarify, were you the first on the scene? He said yes. Which I don't know if that's even true, because now they're saying somebody else was the first on the scene. Then we asked, when you found him, was there anything at the bottom of the tree for him to step up on, or help do this to himself? No. So we're like, okay, were there anything around him? You know what I mean? Like as far as the rapper, the road, anything. He said no. Nothing. So then, we kind of left it alone. We was grieving, pissed off, hurt, mad. Then the second day come, and for a minute couldn't get in contact with the Detective Bishop, but then we had a representative of ours call in, and she got him on three-way. So we ended up having to talk to him. So we asked him again, and then that's when the story came out about him sitting up against the tree,
and not actually,
he's hanging in a seated position. I'm like, okay, so yesterday you told us he was hanging. Now you saying he hanging in did it in a seated with his feet away from the tree. And I'm like, well,
how's that possible?
How is that possible?
Like,
how big was the tree? He was like, oh, well, the branch was only like 6-7 feet off the ground. I say, well, man, Javion's 5'9", 5'10". Like, there's no way. He could have easily stood up and,
See, one of the things that stuck out to me is that the 911 callers said that clearly about 3 or 4 times. So we're going to go through all of that stuff. But one of the things they said was that Javion, you don't want to see him like that. What do you mean? What did they mean by that?
And that was a red flag too, because I asked him, I said, well, if it's just that, what is so gruesome to see.
Right.
I said, send me all the pictures. He's like, well, you know,
it changed to they having to get a court order to give us those pictures unless we came there to see the pictures.
Right.
And so when we did tell him, well, we're on our way, we're coming to see those pictures, that's when he said you wouldn't want to see your son.
Oh wow. So it was just like every and that kind of leads to what I was thinking about this whole thing with truck drivers and things happening to them. There it's like, unfortunately, it seems to be an easy lick because they know the average parents can't just jump and move, and they seem like they're banking on that distance and using that as an advantage in this case. Based off of the evidence, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't pull this stuff from the sky.
And if y'all heard Sheriff No Brame, I'm gonna say it because I agree. He said, if y'all listen to one of the interviews he did, he said he was like, it's unfortunate that the mother wasn't offered a chance to come see her child. Yeah, y'all know why I wasn't offered a chance to come see my child.
Y'all know no.
Because
we were gonna leave out Wednesday night.
Yeah, and they transported
to go to North Carolina,
and they had transported his body already.
The body was already going to Raleigh, North Carolina, to the medical examiner.
So, oh my God, COVID, that did not come from them. That did not come from them. That the COVID, that was like early on. We heard it from another cop friend that is actually from Chicago. That we probably wouldn't be able to see him because of COVID. However, we were told that their facilities was not set up for us to come see him. And that there's other bodies around there that they have to respect, the other family members. And that's what we were told.
So that's why we held off on coming that Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
That makes no sense either. Yeah. I mean, y'all should have been able to go and identify him. We know. Definitely like they did not want y'all to lay eyes on him. And then just the way it all happened. But let's get to this clip. One of the first, I'm gonna play about 3 different clips from his initial interview, but I do want to ask one question. When Stormy did that video, was that the very next day? So was that like the 12th?
I thought it was the same
day. Oh, the same day. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the start of it right there. When she put that out on the 11th, then TikTok picked it up and YouTube picked it up, and it blew up after that.
Yeah, because that's how I found out.
And it took Sheriff Brame 2 days to come out with a press release.
Because he
come out, give us proper time to do a proper investigation. It's been 2 days already.
Yeah, and it sounded like they had already wrapped it up and made their decision.
Because they were letting people on that property. They was letting everybody walk on that property. Everybody.
And that's the thing that kind of shocked me, because even when we got there the 18th, and we had the press conference and we talked to them and we sat in with them, after all that was done, we went by the supposed crime scene. No yellow tape, no nothing. The grass been cut. Stuff is been moved, because we were told that TNR didn't have any recording of it because there was a trailer in the way blocking the camera. But when we get there, there's no trailer blocking the camera. You see from their camera straight to that tree.
Interesting.
I took a picture of it. I stood by the tree and took a picture of the camera.
And it's directly.
Wait, hold on. Let me see. Since we talking about that, because I actually got that picture. So right here.
That one right there, exactly. And it's pointed directly at the tree.
Yep.
I'm talking about directly. So everything should have been seen in that.
Everything. But supposedly there was a trailer blocking the camera.
Being fixed on that was blocking conveniently blocking the camera.
But if it was, at what point did it get put there?
Exactly. If it's an investigation and that's your crime scene, why is anything moved?
Yeah.
Why isn't it taped off?
If you were really doing an investigation.
Yeah. And no matter what the scene is, because they don't know when they coming up on the scene. It should have been yellow tape. But one of the things, we kind of getting ahead of ourselves, but one of the things to think about is body cam footage and dash cam. Did they offer any of that footage?
None of it.
Nope.
I mean, I would love for them to explain why they don't have that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me too.
None of that.
Okay,
We
so
don't have no body cam footage. We don't have no police car footage.
But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be requested by our representative. So
Yeah,
we're gonna see what happened
yeah.
then. Yeah.
that'll be interesting. That will be
They have to
interesting.
show.
Yep.
So directly, I mean, after Stormy came out with her video, maybe we thinking a couple days later, the Brame came out with this, and this is some of the stuff that he had to say, and I want y'all reaction.
On investigation, and we just ask everybody to be patient, and so we can do a thorough investigation to get the proper information out there, and ask people to stay off social media and slow down and report the facts. I understand there's over 1,000 hits on TikTok. The sheriff office not being transparent, not providing information to the family, and that is not true. There's been information put out there that there's a lynching in Vance County. There is not a lynching in Vance County. The young man was not dangling from a tree. He was not swinging from a tree. The rope was not a noose. It was not a knot in the rope. So therefore, it was not a lynching here in Vance County. On investigation, and we just ask everybody.
Your reaction.
Ignorant.
Yeah.
That's all I can say is just
a lot of BS and a lot of what you call sugarcoating.
Very insensitive to me.
Yeah.
Like to me, I mean, when I seen that, I knew something was wrong. Like just his reaction.
Yeah, like just did nothing happen like that. Like it wasn't as catastrophic as it is. Like you talking like a dog got hit or something. No, but we talking about a human being who you say was unalive, but y'all not giving us a whole evidence, and you're talking about it like somebody broke a glass in the window or something.
2 days later.
2 days later, though.
Not when it first happened. 2 days later, and you wouldn't have came out and said anything
if it wouldn't have floated on the internet.
Had Stormy not
right. The fact that he brought up TikTok showed me that is why he did it, period, because they don't like when people are talking about them. That's what they coming out to defend themselves, not really to give you information about your son.
Yeah. And then there was one point to where I think it was on Facebook, Henderson police came out and put a post up saying that it wasn't a lynching and somebody was lying on the police station. And then 10 minutes later, turned around and said that
redacted it. Is that word?
Well, the Vance County Sheriff is investigating something that happened in Henderson. All right, come on now. Y'all just contradicted yourself.
Wow, that was confusing too. Because I know
did that on the internet. Like that was
that
was not smart.
That was confusing because there was a couple people was like hitting them up on their Facebook page. They was tagging them. I seen a lot of that, telling what they seen. And they was defending because it's like 30 cops bundled up, all these different jurisdictions, what they doing, what they hiding and stuff. And that's why they came out boxing. Like you could tell this person was coming out for defense. So I'm gonna play another video or something he said.
I understand the loss. I feel gratitude, condolences, not gratitude, but condolences go out to the family. But I asked them to slow down, to pump their brakes, to slow that train down that's left the station about the Vance County Sheriff Office, and definitely want to clear that the Henderson Police Department has nothing to do with this investigation whatsoever. This incident is clearly out in the county under the jurisdiction of the sheriff, which is myself and my deputies and investigators. I understand the
See, my problem with that is Detective Bishop said he was from Henderson.
Yeah, he did. I mean,
so how does Henderson have nothing to do with it when Detective Bishop said he's the lead detective and the first responder on the scene?
Like we have recordings, so they can't lie. Like I'm just stop playing. Like that.
I mean, to tell y'all to slow down and pump your brakes. I couldn't contain myself when I was listening at this. I'm like, what is he talking about? Like, what?
You wanted to jump through the TV and punch him.
Oh my God. I wanted to be right on your back behind you. Like, what?
Yeah.
I could not believe what I was saying. Like, this guy was talking to y'all crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
It's like, to me, like just from reporting crime, what I've seen over the years, when they come out defensive like that, normally is some corruption going on. That is a telltale sign.
What's crazy about it is he said he said he talked to us. We didn't talk to Sheriff Brame until we got to North Carolina. That was our first time talking to him.
Wow.
Only person we talked to was the Detective Bishop, and that's it.
Well, he considered that him talking to y'all. We
Man,
talked
please,
to them
stop
that like if y'all talk to one of his deputies to him, well, he need to be more specific because that's
Exactly.
confusing and it's a lie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here's another one.
Here at the sheriff's office. I'm sorry that the family wasn't awarded that opportunity to view their son or their loved one. Not a natural circumstance, but in a normal circumstance where someone is deceased and taken to a local hospital, the family are awarded that opportunity to go to the hospital, to the emergency room, or either some other form of fashion so they can view the body and identify the person. This young man was not disfigured in any form or fashion. The picture ID that we took, the picture that we'd taken of him was positively you could identify as being your child or identify someone who knew that could identify that picture.
So where is he now then?
His body is at the medical examining office being autopsied.
For the autopsy?
Yes, sir.
Do we know when the results of that are going to come in?
Hopefully today here at the sheriff's office. I'm sorry that the family...
Yeah. So you heard it with his own mouth that we weren't offered that chance because y'all knew y'all transferred him before we can get to see anything. And y'all know that my son was hurt. You know.
Yeah. And this is my thing. Like for the guy to call in and say, when we seen him, you can clearly see somebody beat the S out of him.
But the owner couldn't see it.
But the owner can't see it.
You're involved.
I'm like, okay, so how is he clearly beat up, but then he's not? So now I'm thinking to myself, did y'all change his clothes?
I thought that. I was
because even in the picture with the three cops, the reflection in the truck, you can see, a stain or a mark in the chest. Whether it was sweat, but I don't know what it was, but you can see some kind of stain on a white t-shirt. It'd be obvious. Yeah. We still haven't got those clothes.
No.
Any of the evidence. Like we have none of the evidence. And supposedly in North Carolina, they don't release the evidence until they make their final decision. But I don't think that's true. But
and then I saw that you showed pieces of the rope, which we found when we went down there. When we went there. Oh, pieces of the rope all in the grass. All of us
all in the grass. Like, how do you find evidence at a crime scene that y'all supposedly took care of? Like, how are we still finding evidence? How is other people still finding pieces of rope that leads from where the truck was at all the way to the tree? Like, that's crazy.
Now, to me, it's like, is people trying to cause confusion with this case, and somebody has said that's not rope, that's plastic, but y'all got a piece. So
I have a piece of the rope. I work on trucks, buses, everything. I know what it looked like. I know what they showed us. And like I said, we have a piece of the rope. So you can't tell me it wasn't about no plastic, no wire, no none of that.
Yep.
Okay.
That is the rope. And for that rope to be so thick and pulled so thin on a small tree with a small body that's maybe 115, 20 pounds is not going to stretch that far like that. It's not going to put that much tension on that rope for it to just pop.
So somebody had to have done that.
Yes. So back to Brame. He said something like he sent y'all pictures, or y'all seen pictures, and so at that moment y'all hadn't even seen no pictures.
Nothing. We hadn't seen nothing.
That's crazy to me. That he's
a liar. That's
all we heard was word of mouth. That's it.
That's why I came out with the word transparency. There was none. They're liars.
Still haven't been in.
For them, what?
We asked them during the meeting to forward everything over to the attorneys,
and they wouldn't.
Nothing. We still have nothing.
See, that lets you know it's like they're holding on until they. So, like you were mentioning, so they can add on.
Yeah.
Add on things.
Yep. Yeah.
So, with him saying, "Oh, okay." So when y'all did get a chance to see the picture that you were supposed to identify him by, could you see that clearly?
Yeah, you can see it clearly, and that was a problem for me too, because I kind of got pissed off in the meeting. For one, you can kind of see he had a busted lip.
Yeah.
For two, he had a scratched dirt mark on one of his knees.
And the blood, you can see blood. Like you can see.
Also, so you could tell it was new. That's crazy.
Also, his nails were clearly dirty.
They were dirty. So he was
clearly there.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, how could the medical examiner tell us he had no defensive wounds?
Nothing under his
no
nails.
scratches, no nothing. And I can see on this picture that you showing me, he clearly got defensive wounds.
Yeah.
How closely did because that's what I wanted to know. Like, if the guys that found him said that, how he looked when y'all seen the pictures at the scene, did y'all see any of that, or
they were kind of far back, so it was hard to see. However, I'm gonna tell you now, it really seems like them pictures were rigged. Something was going on.
He had a clean white t-shirt.
Something was going on.
He had on a clean white t-shirt?
Clean white t-shirt.
That's what I wanted to ask. What kind of shorts did he have on? The same ones from Walmart?
Okay, so his father and his wife saying that they were the same ones from Walmart. I'm gonna be honest, I was so distraught. I thought they were all black. But they're telling me no, it did have the stripe in it. So I'm not even sure, but they were mostly black and then a white strip at the bottom. So you probably wouldn't be able to see any stains or anything on that. So they probably wasn't too worried about that. But that shirt clearly looks like it had been changed.
Mm-hmm.
See, what I was thinking just from this picture here that I had blew up, and you can't see the image because that wasn't what I was focused on the picture.
Mm-hmm.
But I wondered because the shirt that he had on in this image was not the same shirt that he had on at Walmart, from what I could see, because that shirt in the image was cut. It was like a cut sleeve, and the Walmart was a long sleeve. So for me, that's what made me think. And then the bottom, I didn't see any white strip or anything. So I was like, thinking that they did let him sleep there and then snuck up on him at night. That's what I was thinking, because I was trying to make sense of how was he at Walmart? Okay, what I don't get is how could he have dropped his trailer when they were closing? Remember, the wife said that Ray seen him at closing. And then turned around and said that they seen him walking across the street at closing. So which is it? How could he be driving in, dropping a trailer, and walking from across the street?
Yep.
So
it's all of a bunch of bull. They put together that timeline as quick as they could because they did not think that he had family, friends, everybody to help out because they knew they were lying. They didn't think that. They didn't think that was going to happen.
Exactly. That's
no.
what I think too. Yeah. I mean, because, and we're gonna get more into the footage, but that part alone, I'm like, that don't make sense for it to be such a distance. Now, the pictures of him at the scene, y'all didn't, what was going on around it? And I know it was a lot going on at that time, and it's shocking, but I'm curious to know what was going on around it. Did y'all see anything other than him? Was it tape? Did y'all see anything taped off in the crime scene pictures?
Nothing taped off. The only thing that stood out to us, which y'all told us nothing was around his body, was all of a sudden these 2 unopened vape wrappers, which is stupid. Why? And then the perfectly torn rope wrapper that had the barcode that said Walmart, and then the picture of the rope. Like, all of it was messy. Like, y'all.
Right.
It looked staged.
Everything looked staged. It really did.
I remember y'all talking about that rapper. And also I remember a witness allegedly said that one of those cops in that picture, I think the middle person, just the person in the middle, we were told allegedly that person came in asking if Javion bought wraps from there. And so I was like, why would they be asking that? It's like they trying to figure out what he bought. So then from that, I was like, well, I don't believe that he even walked and got the wrap. I mean, even went to the store.
I don't either.
Because it's not on camera.
No, you didn't show us that.
Didn't show us none of that.
You
don't have nothing from the vape shop. They showed us, which is kind of loopy. They showed the trailer already being at TNR.
Yep.
And he just driving the truck to TNR to reconnect to the trailer. So where's the footage of him dropping the trailer off?
Yeah, none of
you got all this footage. Where's the footage of him dropping the trailer off?
We definitely gonna get back to that. Because I want to know. I got some questions about that too. Because it was a guy that said they seen him backing in. He needed help. Did y'all remember seeing that guy?
No,
I
we
heard
about
something
it.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
But
play
we
it. I'll play that. But this part right here, it says the following timeline was compiled using 911 calls, witness statements, and GPS on Magee's commercial vehicle he was operating for his job. So what witness statements did they share with y'all?
None. I don't even know what they're talking about.
I would love to know who the witnesses are. I mean, that's why, like, I be looking at these articles and all that, like, okay, so that's what y'all, and I also seen somewhere that they use his phone information, and I'm like, how is that possible?
They couldn't even get into his phone.
Well, they said they sent off his phone and all that, unless they called them like, hey, can we use some of that footage y'all found? I don't know.
And that's another thing, because he said they sent the phone off to SBI, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they hadn't gotten it back yet. But while we were there talking to them, he said that he looked into his search history on his phone and seen that he looked up the truck stop, somewhere to lay down, like the hotels, a weed dispensary, and a gun shop.
Right.
How can you know that
you
he can't get into the phone?
How is that even possible?
Yeah.
Is that recorded too?
No, this is not. Well,
from
it might be, because I have my phone. I don't know if it's recorded, but I did have my phone on.
When we were in the investigation room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good.
In the days that we were talking to Bishop, I think it was over 3-4 days that we were talking to him. He never even mentioned anything about Javion giving anybody money.
Yeah, that came up. That came up after Wednesday when we met them.
When we met them, that's when we supposedly found out. That's all, y'all. This is all a lie. Like,
are you kidding me? The homeless guy wasn't even in the.
No. None of it. And they told us they seen Javion get out and give a homeless man something.
And they were going to show us the video.
And they were going to show us the video. And then they say they turned around a couple of days later and found the guy in the same spot, and he remembered Javion because he gave so much money. What kind of sense does that make? But then you have no video footage of any of that. Then you say you interviewed him. Okay, so where's the printout of the interview? Didn't see that neither.
But y'all did hear the interview.
Huh?
Y'all did hear the interview though?
No.
Y'all not with them, but later. Have y'all heard it? Okay.
Yeah. Whoever the TV station that interviewed.
Okay.
We did hear that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you supposed to have all your ducks in a row if you come down and have the parents come down to meet you and you say you got this and this, but then you don't show it.
They pretty much think that we're stupid. That's what they think.
Yeah, that's the feel that I get too. So I wanted to read this. It said, it talks about the timeline here, and then it says further, a cardboard wrapper for the blue rope was found lying next to Magee with the Ozark brand rope on it, which is sold at Walmart. It said nothing about the other stuff that y'all said that they didn't tell y'all about in this article. Too, that's what I'm pointing out. And then it says, to get a more complete picture of what happened after his unaliving, investigators said they are now submitting search warrants to access his phone. And then it says the Vance County Sheriff's Office put out information they put out this information shortly after meeting with y'all, Javion Magee's family members and their attorneys, which they didn't. Because I heard y'all say the attorneys ran up out of there 5 minutes before the attorneys arrived.
Brame did. Sheriff No Brame. He did run up out of there.
Just him or everybody?
No, just him.
Just him and his pastor.
Yeah.
See, about that pastor.
Trust me.
That really irritated me to hear that y'all didn't want somebody there that was there, because I guarantee you, if y'all would have been like, we want our brother Richard Taylor to come in here, they would have been like, he don't have no business here. So that pastor had no business there, and y'all really could have said, we don't want him in here.
Yeah,
we want him up out of here.
Everything was just
stage.
I know it was so much going on.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
Mm-hmm. And then to sit up here and show y'all, we see this guy here. Now let me ask y'all this. This post right here. Is this a family member? Because she said she's a cousin. It says his phone went dead approximately 6:22, which is probably when they pulled him over. Thank you for covering my cousin's unaliving. He will be laid to rest Saturday. Do y'all know who that is?
I don't know who that is. Is that I don't know if there's a TikTok handle.
What it is a screenshot of a comment, and the name says That Chocolate.
Is that do you know if that was from TikTok or Instagram? Because
I'm not sure where that
I'll
where
find
it came
out.
from.
Yeah, I'll find out. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Because these are the kind of things that I was looking at, and then that 622 rang because of that. They said he was giving somebody money at 622. So I just wanted to know if somebody from the family actually did put that information out.
Yeah, they may have, and I can find out. It said That Chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can find out before the live is over.
I mean, it seemed like it was legit, but I'm like, okay, so his phone went dead at the same time they inserted the homeless guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I did feel like they were putting in some fillers with this guy too.
Yes.
And that's why they did it. So look, this is something that Brame said. At no point in time did we say it was an unaliving. And it's just like, how do you comfortably lie when you know what you said? So now how are y'all to be able to trust anything that comes from this office?
Absolutely. And we have it on recording. That's what's so sad. We got to record it. Like, how could you?
And we know that it had to happen because the rural police went and told the father that they wouldn't have known that.
Yes.
So I just don't understand how they expect for y'all to trust or believe anything after that.
Thank you.
And so it's really unfortunate. So, here we were trying to figure out, before I go there, I want to know, what did you think when you seen this guy fighting for Javion, going to get that police report? What was y'all first thought?
Listen, when I tell you that he is a blessing, he came, I feel like God placed him in our lives for this cause. Like, it's just, I am beyond words. Like, for him to show up at the funeral,
right?
We had no idea, but when I saw him, my eyes lit up because he went to bat.
He really did.
He did. Yeah,
he really did. And I appreciate him, because it's like, I was literally looking for some information on Javion, and his channel popped up, and he said, I don't know what made me go live. And he talked to me in the chat. He's like, call me or whatever, because I'm in the chat. I'm like, I heard him say it. And so that's how that happened. And then this police report that he was able to get, right?
Yeah.
A lot of things stand out to me, but that pulled hair, we're not talking about that a lot. Did they explain anything about?
I would have loved for them to explain anything. However, we did not have a copy of any police report until Teirra showed it on his live. That's what I'm saying. They not being transparent. They did not give us any investigation report. We got none of that. Because if we did, we definitely would have questioned. We definitely would have questioned it. And I wish I had known that it was possible for us to get that information, because, like I said, we were told that they couldn't release any information until they're done with their investigation. So we didn't even know we could get that, because we definitely would have questioned everything that's on
right. The police report, I mean, they usually, but they not gonna tell you that if you don't know. And that's why it's good to have somebody that is familiar with that, because he do that in his community, and he just knew. What he said was odd is that they asked for his ID and wanted to copy it and all that, like, and then everybody coming out peeking. Who's this guy? Even the guy that called and said that Javion had called out to you. He mentioned that. I know that did.
Nightmares,
did.
just nightmares. I woke up this early this morning, couldn't go back to sleep. Just thinking about the pain that he endured while they were doing this. This is a small. He was very petite, very petite.
Right. I could
And
tell
so,
that.
like, for y'all cowards to do something like that, y'all can't. You're scared up. You're scared. Stop playing
Yeah.
with me.
That's how they move cowardly, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And I don't care what nobody say. This is what it was.
Yes.
I don't care if it was tied, if it was
Thank you.
dangling, hanging. It don't matter. The fact that it was
Yes.
around the neck, and
Yep.
like, come on,
Yep.
you cannot justify,
Absolutely.
cannot say anything against that.
Yeah.
And so now, I'm just going through some things because I've been talking about this ping. And now finding out that we don't know who did this ping.
Nope.
No, we do have. You did tell me that family did have his location. It may be some pings, but not on social
Not for
media.
somebody else to get. Exactly. Not
Yeah.
for somebody else to get.
So I just wanted to clear that up. Go ahead.
Absolutely. And it's crazy because if the phone was still pinging there and the police had it and sent it off to SBI, that doesn't make sense to me. That's how I know that picture is real. And they can't deny it. You can't deny it. It doesn't make sense.
They try to say that picture was Photoshop.
Wait a minute, let me put you talking about the picture with the cops.
Yep.
Yeah, you're talking about that picture was Photoshop.
And when you first look at this picture, just even from a distance, it looks like they're up to something. Yes.
It looks like they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do.
Yes, absolutely. And then the thing is if they were investigating, which is bull, why you wanted that night?
Exactly. And then said that it was found. But how? Okay, so let me ask y'all this. So I was told that one of these guys was in the room with y'all, the black guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you recognize that guy from this picture?
It certainly looks like it. When I first saw that, I'm sorry,
the all the way to the left.
Black guy, it definitely looks like that was the one that was in the room with us.
He was going through the pictures.
He was the one talking to y'all, telling y'all the story.
Yes, he was the one clicking the pictures.
Okay,
he was the one talking.
And to find out from witnesses from Taylor's live that he was the one that went and got videos from Shell's and a vape shop or Walmart or whatever.
Yeah,
that's suspect. Like, what is you on?
Yeah, so I heard that the middle person went to Shell and asked if Javion bought some wraps there. And then the black guy asked about the footage, and they believe that he got the footage too.
Yeah, I believe it. Absolutely.
And so, but when I seen this picture, my goal was to find out where they were standing at. And so the thing that stuck out was the lines on the ground, because I couldn't tell anything until Taylor said what it was on the side of the vehicle. I thought it was a police emblem. I didn't know what was going on here. But I'm like, where are they standing at? And then after going through all of that, trying to figure that out, this is where they were standing at, right here under a light at Green for Life. So did they show y'all any footage from Green for Life?
Oh no,
none at all. We don't have video camera footage from GFL.
Nothing.
That wasn't even mentioned, was it?
Not at all. And I kind of wonder, like, why would you take video from way across the street of the Shell gas station and not right next door to where the GFL?
And I know it's cameras. All around there. We're not done.
And I'm gonna tell y'all something else, because once we figured out where they were at, it wasn't until later that I ran across this woman's video who has pictures of tire marks coming from there. So y'all seen that. And I was like, okay, if I was wrong, I ain't, because she just confirmed the location coming straight from there. And then when Taylor goes out there, we didn't understand what made Diamond put it here. You see what I'm saying? And it's like all of these people that's telling bits and pieces of the story, they're not making this stuff up.
No, and look like where that tree was at, where they put the flowers at the tree, that might have been where it happened. And that tree right there is so close to the main road that they had to move him.
Yeah, it sure is. Now let me show that, because right here, y'all see what's in this picture. There's a sign right there.
Mhm.
So then right here's a couple of them. This is pulling in TNR, and the tree is right there. You know, that's TNR right there. But if you need to see a better picture, there it is.
There's a sign right there.
So you see Shell gas station, you see
Yeah.
Martin Creek Road,
Right
you see Green, all of the stuff is right there. So that's what I wanted to ask y'all in this picture, because I know in that footage that they claim. Let me look at this here. Okay, so this is the area where Javion was found, and I'm kind of skipping, but I wanted to show y'all this, because these pictures were taken at the same time as those other pictures that I felt like somebody, like this one, somebody had posted a bunch of pictures online. Along with the pictures around the same time I found, well, it was the same time I found the 3 cop pictures. And I was like, they trying to tell us a story, right? So those are the little trees right by that gate. And then I ran across this picture that was taken at the same time. That shows that this was out there around the same time that Javion would have been found. So why is that out there in the middle of the grass? I did talk to to Corey, Javion's dad, and he said that looked like a flatbed flatbed trailer. Why is that right there? I'm talking about this literally, it would have blocked Javion from somebody seeing him from the street.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I think that maybe that was put out there. But yeah, just little things that I'm looking at, you know. And
like it's a lot of questionable things. Still not answered, still not clarified. And that's why we have a lot of red flags. Like it's so much stuff that's just questionable right now.
On top of that, we know he wouldn't do this. So
exactly. And but my other question was, because when I first seen, it wasn't this picture, but it was a picture I found on Google, and I could see through that gate. But here is the actual photo and all of that space. You mean to tell me they couldn't see that? And I wondered, because they said his back was against the tree and all of this stuff. And I heard the lawn care guy, say that they seen him. They were cutting the grass inside the gate, and they seen him from that side. So I said, see, that proves exactly what I was saying. If they was able to see him at 10, he and I could have seen him at 8 when they opened.
They did. And it's a shame, because I believe they set it up for those lawn care people, and they don't even realize they just a pawn. Like, I mean, come on now.
And I think they was that you that told me, like, even in the audio, the 911 call, in the background, you can kind of hear somebody say, "What?"
Yeah.
Said it twice.
Hold on, let me play that. Absolutely. Very cold. Like, I mean, so hearing Stormy, we heard her. Then we heard, the sheriff, and he sounded real shady. And then the 911 call, and it's just like, what? Like,
and you laugh, like that would piss me off. You laugh during the 911 call, and why is the caller voice distorted and not the 911 lady?
But but listen, I'm gonna ask y'all, and I'm gonna ask everybody who's watching. To me, his voice was distorted to sound like a black person.
Yep. That's how I felt. That's how I felt too.
So
that's how I felt. He did sound black. I thought I actually said it. Is that a black guy or know? So it's only I chopped it all the way up.
Okay, and are you with them now? Yeah. I'm just putting everything. Everybody's already dispatched out there, and okay, you there, sir? Yes, sir. Okay, I got everybody on the way. Is there a defibrillator available? He called you, yeah, he's gone. I ain't touched him. I ain't been around him yet. I mean, I've been close enough. I don't see him breathing at all. Okay. Alright, and no, it ain't no detail around here. Okay, gotcha. Okay, and are you
to sound like a black dude? I don't care what nobody says.
I feel like he was trying to do that. I feel like it, because how did he sound when you met him in person?
So not like that. I can tell you that. He was a little bit country, but it definitely didn't sound like that.
Yeah, he sound, especially when he said that last part, no defense around here though. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, I did feel like it's like they not think that we was gonna know?
Yeah.
It's
that's what I'm saying.
It's almost like they just didn't expect nothing.
Yeah. And that's why I was surprised to find out really that it was him, this white man that called in. I was surprised because I'm like, dang, that sounds like a black dude. Like, why? But yeah, why would they distort his voice and not? Yeah,
not the whole audio should have been distorted, not just his voice.
I mean, to me, it all seems staged. The 911 call, the lady seems staged, everything.
And then
because she said we already got everybody dispatched out there. And I'm like, how? When he just now called,
he never gave an address.
Nope.
But they did. They asked. They did. They asked for his address. Because I listened for that because I heard somebody say it, so I re-listened to it. And I'm like, she said, "What's the address?" And then they cut it off. They didn't tell. They didn't let us. But she did ask them. But they knew. They knew. So
they were already on the way.
And I mean, but this guy was so sure. That's what I'm saying. When I heard this, and then the sheriff already said, "Oh, they did this because that's what the real police said." I'm like, they didn't even investigate. I said, it's like only thing they got was from the 911 call. They took what he said and put it on the paper. So then I said, who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? That's what made me think, who is he? Like they taking his word.
Yeah.
So then here's the other part.
Okay. Is he awake?
No, I think he's dead.
Breathing? Okay.
No, it don't look like it. No, he was dead.
Okay. All right, guys.
I'm a first responder. I don't know how long he's been there.
Okay. Is he awake?
No, I think he's dead.
Breathing? Okay.
No, it don't look like it. No, he was dead.
Okay. All right, guys.
I'm a first responder. I don't know how long he's been there.
Okay. Is he awake?
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I heard you say that this guy tried to explain himself like, oh, I'm a firefighter. That's why I said I'm the first responder. That was the least of the
I don't care less. Right. What does that mean? Did you try to help him? No, you laughed and said no, he's going.
Exactly. I mean, he said dead so many dang on times, and he said HUNG. How you so sure? That's what I wanted to know. How do you know?
When he beat up.
And why wouldn't you call in and say that he was beat up?
Hello.
Yeah, because that's the part they don't want. That's what I'm saying. Like, how could the other part, like after hearing the long guy, I'm like, how was they so sure that they wasn't gonna say anything? What was their conversation?
That's how you know.
That's what I want to know. What was their conversation? Because I know
it had to be one.
It had to be one because they found him beat up. You go tell the owners, and then the owners say he hung himself. Like, come on, man. How did that switch so fast?
Yeah, how? Like, and then my other thing, I'm like, I wonder, because he said we cut the grass. Nobody go back there. They would have never seen him. We cut the grass inside the gate. And then I remember in the beginning, Quentin, I guess, had told Taylor that they got up out of there after that. So who finished cutting the grass?
Right, because somebody came back and cut the grass. I know when we got there on the 18th, the grass was cut.
Yep.
Not only did it get cut, but when the activists went out there, they was like, because everything around it got cleaned as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see behind it. So a lot of things.
Which is crazy, because when we got there, I told Teirra and everybody that we was with, even if you cut the grass, you would see stuff moved around or kicked up. But where they had him at in the picture,
clean.
It looked like he was just placed there. Everything was matted down, wasn't touched, wasn't no kick marks, scratch marks, no hesitation marks, no shuffle marks, no dirt move, no nothing. It was just everything was completely matted down.
So when y'all seen those pictures, did y'all notice anything in the surrounding areas? Like, let me see.
Not really.
Not really. It was just a bunch of trees behind it.
So y'all just seen that, basically.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up on the map. Now there is like white
Yeah, when we went there,
abandoned
the
church
down
shack
there,
or something right
down
behind
there,
the trees.
if you go
Yeah,
down,
on the
it's
side.
yeah,
On the side.
look
There's some more
real,
stuff going on.
look
I wanted to
real
walk down there,
suspicious.
but you know.
Well, the guy that said that Javion called to mom, he also said that they put him they drug him under that house. I believe, like, if that's an area that's a druggy area or a homeless area, I believe that they hang out there. Or I mean, even a possibility, because it was what somebody said, it was a bunch of them behind the trees or whatever. Agents that night, so I don't know if they was cleaning up
That's
stuff.
what we heard
Like,
too. There was
I
6.
don't even.
They said, I think he said it was 6 police cars back off in the woods that night.
That night or the next night. That's crazy. For what? Because there was also, and I got it, there was a person that said my mom was going to work and seen a young man slump and a cop in an ambulance.
I got messages after that through Messenger, and because we wasn't friends, it didn't say, but yeah, they were telling me that it was cops all down. He's like, I just got off of work and it was a bunch of cops in those woods. That's what he said.
See, so it was multiple people that seen this stuff. Everybody ain't lying, making up stuff. I mean, I just feel like they need to come forward with the stuff that is being said, like how he came forward in defense with the TikTok. All this stuff that Taylor saying, he ain't came back live and said nothing.
He
ain't did no press conference yet.
He can't.
Yeah, but that looked real suspect that he ain't. Is because he was very emotional about the TikTok.
The TikTok got 1,000 views.
And
somebody that was
he said in an interview that he was going after everybody who
somebody he was
shared or posted something on his
sharing a post.
What?
You can't do nothing to them people.
That's freedom of speech.
You can't do none of these people.
No, you cannot.
Just mad because the story got out and you ain't in front of it.
See, that's the thing. They cannot control us. They can't control what people say. They can't. They trying to get it under control. That's why they want TikTok up out of here. But yeah, I mean, we can say whatever we want.
Yeah,
and we respect, but we just want the truth.
That's it.
Nobody is attacking anybody here. We just want the truth. We want justice for Javion. Period.
And if you are feeling attacked, then that means you got something to do with it.
Exactly, because it shouldn't feel like an attack. When you have compassion, you wouldn't look at this as an attack. You would look at this as parents wanting to know what happened to their child. That's it. So let me see this.
Do we know, the last people who were in contact with him or kind of anything leading up to this?
No, sir, we did not. Other than apparently being at Walmart distribution.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Walmart store.
You said he was just sitting up against the tree?
With his back up against the tree.
Okay, and the rope was just around his neck?
Yes, sir.
Was it tight?
I did not pay attention personally. I cannot comment on that.
Okay. Do we know,
He know everything but don't know nothing.
Right.
That's what blows me away. Like,
but the question was, do you know who Javion was in contact before it happened?
Nope.
He went to no other than
Walmart.
He was at Walmart. Stop. You keep trying to press that. We already know that's, you know what? That's that narrative. That's yours. It's not
but what about the witness statements that we just read from the paper? It said they got witness.
A couple
so something ain't adding up. They just said earlier it was some witness statements that they got and some 911 calls that they got this information from. He ain't mentioned none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody was in contact with Javion the whole time.
But yet the owner saw him coming back from Shells or saw him as he was leaving. Get out of here.
And that's what I want to get into the footage, because that just don't make sense to me. But let me see. I think I got one more of this.
His truck, how far was he from where his truck was parked?
Oh, I said 30 yards, 30, 40 yards from where his truck. His truck was in a fenced-in area, and he was on the outside of the fenced-in area where a tree was at.
And his truck, how far was he from where his truck was parked?
And my thing is, if it was in the fenced-in area, that's their property, right?
That means somebody had to move it.
That's what I was about to ask y'all. So, where exactly was his truck parked at? Like when y'all went out there? Okay.
Everything was gone. Like
everything was moved.
Nothing was there. Nothing was there, including the one that was blocking the camera. His trailer and what truck. No, all of that was gone. We don't know anything, and it was really unclear if it was the truck and trailer was on the outside of the fence or inside of the fence. They couldn't get that straight.
Yeah, because he said
we just heard him say what he said.
Yeah, he said the trailer was on the inside, the truck was on the outside,
which means that it was on their property.
On their property, so he had to have spoken with one of them.
Wait a minute, hold on. Who said that Javion's trailer was inside the gate?
Brame just said it.
Play it again.
Okay, I thought he was saying the whole thing. Let's see.
His truck. How far was he from where his truck was parked?
Oh, I said 30 yards, 30, 40 yards from where his truck. His truck was in a fenced-in area, and he was on the outside of the fenced-in area where a tree was at.
And his truck. How far was he?
How can you be both?
He said truck.
How can you be both?
No, but he said his truck was on the inside of the gate. But where was the trailer? That's what I'm saying, though. But he never separated the two. You see what I'm saying? He said his truck, but what about the trailer? So that's confusing to me.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, because my thing is, if his truck was on the inside of the gate, then that don't make sense with what they've been telling us. Because, okay, think about it. Javion was there on the property he left Walmart 5 minutes later, 4:58, he was there. We got the wife saying that they seen him coming from across the street, the husband seen him. So how does that work? If they was closing, then that means Javion would, and his truck was locked in their gate. Then how did he do all this other moving around? Like how did they lock the gate? Yeah, that
in there, but he's driving his truck here and there. Like how can you do that?
Yeah, because like they seen him at closing. So my other thing was how they close at 5 o'clock is 4:58. So what was the conversation? But now after y'all talk, I now know that they didn't show y'all that part of it.
No, see none of that.
That's why I say that we left there more confused than when we went in. That's why I said that.
Right, because how you gonna take out? But that's what I'm saying. I would love to know the time of the Walmart really by receipt.
Yep.
Because a couple things I was thinking, like, okay, well, if they seen him at closing, then they must have had a conversation. Did they? Because I've already said this. I said, did they send him to go get the rope? Did they set him up? You see what I'm saying? Did he pull up and they told him that he could park there? Because it just okay. So then they telling us he get back and he walk out, he goes out the truck with something in his hand, come back without something in his hand. So I was like, well, who did he hand the rope to?
Exactly.
You know, so those were a couple things I was thinking. Did they tell him he could and then they came back later and did that? Because it just does, or either that or nothing, none of this other stuff happened and they had him held somewhere for some hours because it's 15 hours that he would have been out there. And that I don't believe that he was. So I wanted to ask y'all about the footage. I'm gonna have to go to the pictures too, but how much could y'all see? Let me just go to something distant, I guess. I heard y'all say that Javion walked out to the street near the road. How far out was he?
So because they said they had taken it from Shells, the video from Shells, everything was far back, so you couldn't really see it that well. I mean, you could see him, but you couldn't really see it that well. Like everything was trashy.
So even when he came. So when they said he came out to the road, that means he was way out here by the street, right? When y'all seen him, What did it look like? Was it daylight, dusk, dawn? Like what was
daylight?
It was bright, like it was when it was at Walmart.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. That time frame don't even match up.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. They time frame ain't matching.
And Marcus questioned the time and the date of the video when they were showing us these clips, and he said, "Wait a minute, why that date look like that? What is going on with?" Oh, that's just because they put the month, the day first, and then the month, blah blah, and the year.
I think I just about caught him on some BS, and he skipped forward real quick.
So when y'all saying that part, is the TNR footage that y'all talking about?
Mm-hmm.
The date
This is
is
when
off.
he was walking
That's
from
what
the
they
truck
said,
to the front of the road, and then he went back to his truck.
And even that to me didn't look like the. I'm confused.
Started the truck up at 7 o'clock, and then at 7:30 he cuts it off, and then you see him get out the truck. And he goes out of the site for a minute behind a trailer or whatever, and then he pops back up. But my thing is, none of it looked continuous. Like it was like pieces
right, erratic.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
So all the footage y'all seen was daytime.
Yeah. Yes. Everything was daytime.
Yep.
But so the first footage they showed y'all was him back in the trailer, because I heard you say from Walmart they backed him into the he was backing in the trailer.
That was at the truck stop. When we first seen him, he pulled in with the truck, bagged in perfect, parked the truck, went inside, got something to eat. You can see him come back outside with the white bag of food. He get in his truck. It looked like he sat there, ate for a minute, and then he drives off. And then the next thing we see is him without the trailer at Walmart. So where's the footage when he drove the truck and the trailer to the TNR to bag it in and park it?
Yeah.
We have no footage of that at all.
Yep. And that's how you know all that footage, everything, it all happened then. But
that's what I'm thinking.
I
the
wish
part
they
that
would
did
just
show is where it all went left.
Yeah.
So did y'all see the footage where he was looking? Well, when he went out to the street, it looked like he was looking for help. And then we have this guy here.
Try to go around to the back, turn his truck around to the lane.
Okay.
So the person he asked for help. You know what I mean? Because he walked up there. You understand what I'm saying?
He walked up where?
In the front.
Okay.
So then, and then asked for help to get his truck parked. You know what I mean? Try to go around.
Did y'all hear this guy?
Yeah,
we heard it. We have no footage of that.
No, but they tried to make it look like he was casing somewhere.
He was casing the place.
Yeah, casing the place.
That's what they told us in the meeting. He looked like he was casing the place.
Yeah, that's horrible. Words to
somebody
say.
Or some help.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. Like, we're not stupid. Stop.
So once y'all heard that homeless guy story, did y'all because I know it kind of disturbed me when I heard the lawyer say that, y'all want transparency, but y'all willing to accept if he did this to himself. I was just like, what? I mean, because I
never accepted that.
I was about to say, like, when I heard that, I was like, I would never accept that because I don't believe that. I don't care what they tell me.
And that's why we're here now. No.
Okay, yeah. I was like, man, heck no. So I'm glad to clear that because I'm like, They know they son. Never let somebody tell you about your son. They don't know nothing about. What is this one?
Video footage of this young man from the time he set foot in Vance County. Where he dropped his load off at Walmart, where he took his tractor trailer and parked it at this lot that was there on Lake Road. From him leaving there, going to Walmart, we got him on video walking in Walmart, buying the rope, purchasing the rope with his credit card. We got him giving and we interviewed the man. He gave the man $228 cash every time he had. And told the man, if I have more, I can give you more. We have video footage of this young man from the time he set foot in Vance County.
That irks me too. Why are y'all videoing him the time he got in the Henderson County?
Yeah.
Why? Why
Like
are y'all trailing?
Look like y'all was stalking him.
Yeah.
Why? That's what it said.
You know what? With him saying that, it almost make me feel like they set him up from the time from before he even got there, and it makes me feel a connection with them in the trucking company.
Yeah, because it's like
that.
He was in Pennsylvania before he got to North Carolina. So that means y'all followed this man and trailed him all the way into y'all county?
Yeah, something ain't right.
He said they had eyes on him from the time he stepped in Vance County is what I thought.
Why though?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. But also, y'all got eyes on him and seen everything but missed the main event.
All of it? Exactly.
Yeah, okay. So thank you for letting us know that. Y'all was watching him and y'all got him. I mean, he telling the story. Just listen at him.
Yeah.
He ain't making no sense except for corruption. That's all I hear. You know, and then this homeless guy, I didn't he didn't
That
help
is-
their
No, because
narrative.
okay, even if you hear when he talked to Taylor on the phone,
Yeah.
he said that a guy came up to him, drove by him, and was like, "Did a trucker give you some money?" He didn't say who. He said, "Did a trucker give you some money?" He said, "Yeah, all right, I'm gonna give you a pass today. You can't be flying signs, right?" Drives off. Then he says 2 lady cops came up and asked him the same thing, and they kept asking about the money. He said that's when he put 2 and 2 together. So that means he didn't know, and y'all didn't interview him.
Yep, exactly.
Y'all didn't show him no pictures.
Y'all didn't show him no pictures, no nothing.
See, y'all feeling the same way. Yeah, because the way that he told that story was like they literally walked up to him and was like, "Hey, we need you to say this, and
he
if
did
you
use
don't,
money, right? Yeah, okay,
I'm gonna
cool.
bring you in for having that sign because you know you ain't supposed to be doing that or whatever."
Exactly.
And so
So,
I got some little clips of that too. I'm gonna play.
Yeah,
Go
if
ahead.
y'all investigating a crime, why wouldn't you take him in, take the money, and fingerprint all that?
Exactly, or even ask them more about the money. Because I'm like, first of all, the fact that they said we sitting here looking at his wallet and they tell us
there's nothing in it.
We don't know what it is. If I had more, I would give it to you. I'm like, that mean he would have had to have a wad of money, and that was not in his wallet. So they lied about that.
The Walmart video, all he had was his cards on him. That's it.
Exactly.
There's no cash in that wallet.
I mean, I was trying to zoom in that wallet, but he was moving so fast. But yeah, it wasn't no bunch of money that he couldn't count.
No, it was a guy on television say he zoomed in on it. He's a cyber tech guy or whatever. He said he zoomed in on it. Wasn't no money in that wallet. It was just his car.
Right, I seen it. It wasn't no money in
I'm
there.
like,
I couldn't see
y'all
nothing that
figured
looked
it
like
is.
money, and
And then
not
the
a
cops-
wad of money that you couldn't count anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. So yeah, so here's some of what the guy said.
And then so when they said the truck driver that died, you the one, you just told him that he gave you the money, or did they already know he gave you the money?
I guess they did because they came down here and asked me, did the truck driver give me some money? And I told them, yeah.
Oh, so they already knew he gave you some money.
Mm-hmm. The only reason they wanted to know that, they were trying to, get a timeline,
And then so when they
trying to get a timeline.
He
So
told
he
him right there. He told us they trying to get a timeline together. That's why I'm like, okay, not helping them at all. So I'm gonna play this part, then I'll ask y'all the question.
Yeah, so it were three different police officers that came to you. 3 different. One of them, you said one of them, 2 of them was lady, and one of them was a dude.
Yeah.
Was he black or white?
Alright. It was white guy and 2 black women.
White guys. You don't know their names. I know you've been in trouble enough. You know their names, right?
I don't know these people. These ones names. It's been so long. Like I think it's new people working this shit.
Yeah. So do you really think he did that to himself, though?
I mean, I don't know. I would hope not, man. Cause I swear I feel bad for his family and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel really bad for his family and shit. Cause that boy was young as hell.
Yeah. So it were three different.
So what do you think about Patrick?
It looked like he tried to make up who came to see him. Like he didn't even know that. Like it did not happen. I don't believe it until you show me. I don't believe it. It doesn't make sense. I believe he was inserted in it, like he said, and he had nothing.
Even at the end of that interview, you can tell he was having a conversation with somebody else on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, well, you should have just kept your mouth closed and not said nothing, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yeah, but they put me in it.
Yeah.
He sure did say that. Yeah. He said the police put me in it for real or something. I heard him because she was fussing. Yep, he sure did. And so that's what I was saying. Like, even though, I mean, I had mixed feelings about him because of what he's known for, but just based off of that conversation, I get that they just walked up to him. We need you to say this, and he ain't did no police work with them in a while. He didn't know who they was, but he was an informant, and he said what he had to say. He also said, "I don't want my family to get hurt."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they told him to say that, and then when he said, "I thought he was loaded," And he also, when he said that part about him being young as hell, to me, that meant he did not know what he looked like. He didn't have an image in his head. He was just told a story. And he was just doing what they told him. That's what I got from it.
And they might have gave him the 228 for just going with it.
Exactly. Exactly. Because my thing was, I said, okay, so they got a 911 caller and a homeless guy that they building a whole, that this is what happened. No investigation or nothing. Why is that? I said, do they have any ATM transactions where Javion took out $228? Like, so we just gonna believe a homeless druggie?
Yeah.
Exactly. That don't even make sense, man. And so I just wanted to go through some of those points with y'all because those were some of the things that people was wondering about. And I just was curious to know what y'all thought about that guy. It's a possibility that, I mean, I believe that he knows these people well. He knows the TNR people because they're linked on Facebook. They all connected on Facebook.
Yep. And that's a small rural area. That area, no. So I know. No, they all know each other.
Yeah, I believe it. Is there anything, if you could talk to Sheriff Brame, both of y'all, what would y'all say to this guy?
After I get over my anger and really focus on the cause, me finding justice for Javion, I would ask him to think about if this was your child. Just take yourself out of that sheriff position and think about if you were in our position and this was your child.
Would you believe what you're telling us?
Yeah, would you believe that?
No, you wouldn't.
So please just tell the truth. Tell the truth. I understand there can be some repercussions from it, but this is what they are doing to our Black men. You're Black yourself. Like,
allegedly.
Yeah, right. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Like, just tell the truth. Like, this is hurtful.
And the fact that y'all going through so much rigmarole to
cover it up
or make it look like something, it's pathetic.
It is.
It's pathetic.
It is. And y'all finally got someone or family, like I said, back up that's not gonna let this go. And now y'all trying to hurry up and cover your tracks, because it probably never happened before where they came at y'all like this and have lawyers and stuff like that.
I know a question, but I would ask him, if y'all were so sure that this happened, how it happened, why is it still an ongoing investigation?
Good question. What are we waiting for right now?
What are we waiting on? You know what I mean? Like, why don't you have when you made your final decision? Yeah. If you so let me back up. When we talked to Detective Bishop on 11, and we was asking him some specific questions, he told me that all evidence
points to
that. Yeah. And I said, okay, so you must have been investigated something, right? So let me see pictures, let me see your evidence, let me see. Well, we don't have any of that right now. Okay, so how can you come to a concrete conclusion that this is what it is if you ain't did no investigation?
And what if they did do an investigation? They're doing it to try to
prove that narrative. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not trying to prove the case. You're just trying to prove your point. That's it.
The thing is, they star witness told us all the stuff he told us. So that don't, they can't let that go through like that. Yeah. And that guy cannot stand trial.
No, he cannot. And listen, this is what really got me and stands out in my head and won't go away. Detective Bishop said to us that when this first happened, or when he first showed up on the scene, whatever, he did tell us that nothing was there, but he said that he started his investigation at Walmart. You done had no evidence of anything else. No
ID, and you also said you found him with no phone and no wallet.
But you started your investigation at Walmart. That's really
so. If there was nothing on the ground, how would you know to start at Walmart? Well, and if the rapper was on the ground, why would you contaminate the evidence and take it all the way to Walmart?
Yeah.
And I'm curious.
Look it up when he bought it.
I'm curious to know who did that and what time did they do it. Like, did
Yeah,
they
'cause
pick
they
it
must
up and just take it? Because
take off
I
with it.
read what you're supposed to do at a crime scene, and that should have been bagged and
Bagged and
like
yeah,
it's not
along with
like they
the
gotta run and take it and go to Walmart as soon as you pick it up. Like, I'm just curious to know how
And
was
I
that
I
investigation
also
done?
have another question because I don't think anybody's ever asked it or got an answer for it. Where is the test results for the rope? Did you not test the rope? Did you get fingerprints?
They told us they didn't. They told us in the room and said because we asked, "Did you test the rope?"
Like, why
and
wouldn't
they
you
said
test the
they
main
said no.
weapon?
They said no. They
That's
flat
the
out
dumb.
and
You
they also
know,
said they wasn't gonna swab the truck.
Yeah,
for
because the truck
fingerprints.
wasn't part of the crime scene, but you
yet
got the truck
took
towed into a
pictures,
tow spot somewhere.
and you took pictures of the
On
inside of the truck. So why not swab it?
Yeah, that's why did they do that if they wasn't gonna do the full investigation on everything?
See, I think they took the pictures of the inside of the truck to say that he was a smoker. Because all they did they took the inside, they took a picture of the inside of the cab. It was a cup with some Black & Mild butts in it, and there was a vape pen on the seat. It looked like it was placed there. And then, they just showed the inside of the truck. I'm like, okay, so if it wasn't part of the investigation, why do you have these pictures?
Yeah, and you want to
and you're not gonna fingerprint the truck.
I was about to ask y'all, what did they take pictures of exactly? So they took pictures of an ashtray and a vape pen
in his suitcase.
And his suitcase that was
he
in
had
the,
a silver
in the cab.
suitcase in the cab. Yep.
And that was it.
And that was it.
But if it wasn't part of the crime scene, why would you do that?
And we know he had a black backpack.
Because he took it inside the hotel. Yep, we don't have that yet.
That was mentioned. Yeah.
Oh, did y'all see the hotel footage?
No.
Oh, well, I don't know.
He said he went in for maybe 5 minutes, came right back out.
We don't even know if that's true.
I'm like, come on, man.
Parked in the back. I didn't believe the hotel thing because I don't believe the hotel was full. That's why I didn't believe that. So I don't believe that happened. That don't make sense.
I'm like, come on, man.
And when they
there's
said
nobody really in here for that hotel to be full like that.
Unless it was a homeless Motel 6 hotel, but they said it was the Hampton Inn.
So. It was a Hampton Inn. Like, okay,
knock
so
it off.
Hampton Inn. Apparently, you had to have room because they ain't no too many people visiting Henderson. Like, come on.
It should be. I mean, shoot. If they booked for him. If they was booked that day, we should be able to call them and say, was y'all booked on this date at this time? Since they gave us a time, they should be able to look to see if they was booked.
We did call. We was our own investigators the day that it happened.
Yeah, we called all the hotels that was around here.
The surrounding hotels.
They say no, he did not check in. No, he didn't have a room.
Yeah,
so I'm like, okay.
None of it makes sense, but it just blows me away that they would make it up. But that's why I'm like, they must be comfortable with this and used to nobody saying nothing to be comfortable to make it up. Like, I mean, because I'm like, surely if they said that they got the footage, they do. But I heard Brame roll it back when he was like, we seen the homeless guy. We gotta, because he was talking about all this footage they got. Then he got to the homeless guy. He was like, "We got him on." He fixed it. Yeah. We got him on. Then he changed it. They don't have it on footage because I zoomed in on the camera. I seen him get in the car, door open once, and pull off. One thing that stuck out to me that y'all said about the pictures in his car is Javion known to smoke?
And that's the thing. No, and I'll tell you why. They do test him regularly. He drives for a truck. He got a CDL.
You can't.
So no, and he stayed away from it. And if he did, like I said, if he did, that's his business. But for the most part, what we saw, I'm gonna tell you no.
Okay.
No.
Now I wasn't even talking about the marijuana, but the Black & Mild. Do he smoke?
Not that I know. I've never seen him smoke one in front of me. So
I'm gonna say this because people that smoke Black & Milds don't vape too. So whose vape pen was it? You see what I'm saying?
And it was like a rainbow color vape.
Did they test that? No, because they going with the reason why they went with that, number one, when you put that on a person, it's so many things they not gonna do because of that.
Exactly.
But with that being said, why did they go on with an SA kit and clipping?
Right.
All
why
that.
did you do
Nothing makes sense. Yeah, nothing makes
And
sense.
then, okay, so you did fingernail clippings. Where's the evidence from the fingernail clippings? What did y'all find?
And to the point where I couldn't see my baby's hands at his funeral. No, y'all did.
Yeah, y'all had them tucked down the side. They wasn't on his chest or stomach.
Damage. They didn't do some damage.
I believe it.
And people keep asking about this autopsy and stuff like that. I wasn't gonna mention that, but the thing is, y'all don't realize they kept his body out so long. And I believe they did that to get rid of the evidence. Like my baby was supposed to be in, if not, I don't want to say on ice, but somewhere where he's chilled so that you can preserve his body. They did not do that. I believe they left him out and ruined his body, and that's probably for them to get rid of evidence.
Yeah. What are they saying about the time of death? Did they give y'all one of those? Give y'all that information?
They didn't give us a time.
They just say they got a call around 10:08 Wednesday morning. And that was it.
Yeah, you may have to ask his dad if it's on his death certificate, but there's nothing. I think he said it was blank, but y'all have to ask. I don't know.
Now, if y'all could plead to the witnesses, what would y'all say to them to come forward with information?
Yes. If there is any video footage, we can don't have to say your name. We don't have to say, none of that. But please call in, because this is, they keep doing this to us, y'all. As y'all can see, so many cases have came out since my son's case has came out. And it's still happening. So obviously they we don't care. But I want to say to the people in Henderson, if anybody's watching, that if y'all know the name Rebel, REBEL, or know of a gang named Rebel, anything with the Rebel, to please call Ms. V or Taylor, or reach out to the family. Rebel, REBEL. Please let us know.
Now, what is Rebel?
I don't want to say right now.
Okay.
But just if y'all could, I'll tell you off scenes. But if you know anything like that, please. Yeah.
So I'm opening up the phone lines right now. I know they told me they would be willing to take calls. If it's something that we didn't touch on and y'all want to know, call in. The number is available. But also, I mean, anything else y'all think that we didn't touch on that y'all want us to know? What's the message for the people that's in support of Javion, that's been posting about him and talking about him?
Keep posting, keep putting it in the news, and don't forget about it.
Yes, and thank you.
Keep calling the sheriff office and getting on their nerves.
Keep his name alive, because that's all they're waiting for. Oh, that moment for when it gets quiet. Then we're gonna try to, rule on it or whatever. No, please, I thank y'all for all y'all hard work. Thank you, but please, yes, please.
We got a call.
All right.
Hey, caller, you're on the.
To accept, press 1.
Oh, no name. Never mind. They ain't say nothing. So when you call in, make sure you state your name, where you calling from, no trigger words, and be mindful of what you ask, I guess I should say. So and nobody might not call in, but I just wanted to can we Facebook message y'all details? Somebody is asking on the chat.
Absolutely, because that's actually where it people was hitting me up the day that it happened and the next day. But with it being so new, I didn't know who to trust, what to listen to. But now that more of the details and things are coming out, reach out to anyone in the family. Reach out to anyone you can, please, because they cannot keep getting away with this. No.
Yes. So diaspora, they did see it. She's asking about, did y'all hear the caller?
Somebody, Tom Leon 99, he said it's Southern Rebel. So I'm gonna have to tell him thank you. Thank you.
Southern Rebel. Okay.
Southern
I
Rebel.
see it. Oh, hey, Charismatically Clever. Rebel Rouser Motorcycle Club.
Okay,
let's see. Oh, shoot.
He say Reddicks from the South call themselves Rebel or Rebel Son. They fly the Rebel flag. It's all the same stuff.
Okay, hold on, caller. Shoot, I'm all messed up here. Okay. Hey, caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
How you doing?
Good.
Hey, this Trucker Dave. Right now I'm in. Right now I'm coming through Ohio. But I wanted to say hello to the family.
Hello.
And condolences and what I'm saying, blessings to y'all. But I just wanted to let y'all know that we all a community out here, truckers, and I took about a month off last month, and I spent so many countless mornings just sitting here, just searching and trying to plead with God and trying to figure out answers. And I put my all into trying to figure out what happened with them. And by the way, I was that picture that's circling around on the internet with its resemblance in the in that photo that you're talking about. I circled that photo. I found that out because I had a similar situation like that with my mom when she was in the hospital in COVID, and I got pictures similar to that. So when I looked at it, not too long after looking at that photo, I was looking for his reflection inside of that photo. I believe that's how you get signs and stuff like that. But that photo that's going around, when people, because people was watching it and it was floating around, but that photo just kept bothering me. And, just Javion, I don't know, that brother just weighed on me like a little brother, man. It's like, man, I got to fight for justice. I can't let, I just put so much into it. And it just, as a trucker, that bothered me about what happened to him. I'm from North Carolina as well, but, and also, like I was telling Taylor, man, whoever cut the grass is one person away from the person who was involved. And that was a cover-up attempt right there.
I agree. Yes,
you know what I mean?
Thank you. Yep, I agree.
I don't know if they can hear me.
All right.
Yes,
thank you so much for calling.
Thank you so much. Yes,
Can you hear me?
appreciate it.
Yeah, we heard you, brother.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, I just wanted to let the family know. I don't have a YouTube channel, but I did put in my work with helping your son, with helping y'all, figure out what happened in this. I'm Trucker Dave. You can verify me with Taylor. I circled that picture and send it to him. And I told him from the beginning, focus on his grass, on his grass. And that grass situation was what led to the 911 call came out a couple of days later. And I told him, I told you, whoever cut that grass, it's one person away. It's pretty much almost involved with it. They're one person away from the person who had to have something to do with it.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much because we talked about the grass cutters in the beginning, and they actually, admitted to what he looked like and all that. I don't know if you've seen that video.
Yeah, if you go back, and he'll tell you. He said, my trucker. He'll tell you that that's what the question I had brought up. That's what I raised that question, and what I'm saying, I'm a trucker, so it's like I said, a lot of things that I went through right now in my mind, saying going blank, but because I'm being timed right now, so but that it came down, you know how it is when you get on there,
Yes.
But and the footprints, the grass that was, looked like tire marks. It seemed like they whatever they did to them, they brought it from the GFL lot, and they had the one officer riding across with the tire marks. You see why they escort him across that lot, shielding him so nobody else can see it, and then bringing him to that house back there, and then coming back out later on after rigor mortis and then placing them out there. That's what it seems like happened.
Yeah, definitely a setup for sure. Thank you so much for calling.
Tell them thank you. We appreciate
and they
it.
say thank you and appreciate you. I know you could hear him. But shout out to Trucker Dave.
Yes.
So there's another question that said, did y'all check his bank account statements?
His father may have. I don't have access to that, but his father may have. And I think we're working on the phone records and stuff too. So
okay. Protected by God, you can call back. Anybody that called, you can call back if you want. But I don't want to keep them too long either. We had an hour and 40 minutes. And so Yeah, it's just easier to call in, y'all. It's hard for me to read these comments. It's so high. It's so many. It's over 600 comments.
Oh my goodness.
But I will look at them later, and I'm sure they will too. But if you really had a question, the best way to do it is to call.
Yeah, or
and
any
so,
information, call in, please.
Yes, please call in. There was a guy that was there. He was wanting your information. I think I'll share with you the message that he sent. Not right now, but I did get a couple of calls, and I didn't know how y'all felt about it. I wasn't gonna give
we
any
open.
numbers
Yeah, we're
or anything.
open.
But
I
okay.
understand. Yeah, yes.
So, is there anything else that y'all wanted to talk about? A lot of people are still asking about the autopsies, but you just touched on that, saying oh, his necklace, yeah. Did you ever because I know I had asked you about the necklace because he had it on in Walmart.
Yep, he did.
Did that necklace, because I know you probably familiar with the necklace?
Yes.
It looked like it's a charm. Was it a charm on that necklace?
I don't recall unless he put one on there. I know that my father, my dad, gave that to him right before he passed away.
I believe they could have been out there looking for that.
Could be.
To accept, press 1. To send a...
Hey, caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Protected by God, North Carolina.
Oh, thank you for calling back. How are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
Good. Oh, can you turn me down in the background? It's causing an issue. If it's down, it's good. Did you want to say something to the parents?
Yes, I would like to know, did you all give the funeral home or the Raleigh, North Carolina coroner permission to prep his body before he was actually shipped back home to Illinois?
I don't want to give too much away on that. And there's a reason for that. So I can't answer that.
Can't answer that one.
Nope, can't answer that.
Okay, all right.
And I tell her, yeah, and I tell her, they have been going after.
Well, y'all be blessed and knowing that, do know that God got you, and He's gonna reveal it all.
Thank you. Tell her thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, some questions we don't want to answer because literally y'all don't understand. They have been going after people to cover their tracks.
Really?
And I don't want to throw anything out there to give them any more type of help on this mess that is going on. So some things we're gonna try to keep, to ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely can't tell it all. If you believe, if you're feeling like they're creating a timeline off of what y'all saying,
Absolutely, they are absolutely.
So, have you spoke with the attorney since the press conference?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes,
good. Because somebody asked, "Where are your attorneys?"
They're there, and they're telling us to be patient. They got this.
Okay.
But
I mean, do they think it's a good idea to keep talking about it?
Oh, absolutely. Well, we haven't went over that with them. I think they left that decision maybe up to us. They haven't told us, hey, this is not a good idea. That's not a good idea. They haven't weighed in on it. So, but we think it's a good idea to keep it live. Keep his name. Keep it.
Yeah,
and I love that. That statement that they put out there, Forever 21, that hit me hard.
I put that out. Yeah, that's what I put out. Man, it hit me hard too.
Yeah.
And my prayers go out to you and your family. Y'all stay strong. Everybody don't grieve the same. People, people will talk and think you're supposed to be a certain way.
Yeah.
But I know that you said that, Javion, you called him your twin.
That's my twin.
Y'all didn't have a real big crazy reaction on things, just kind of laid back and chill.
Yeah, we didn't.
But I noticed at the press conference, and I want to go to that picture because I seen you there. That was my first time seeing you. And I just wonder, when both of y'all look at this picture, What was going through your mind at that moment?
Pretty much just trying to keep it strong.
Because this was after all the evidence, right? I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I had to try to suck it up and stay strong so that we could, get this out there. But I was, like I say, y'all don't understand. I'm dying inside. That's what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep telling people I have to put on every day that I'm okay.
Yeah.
I go to work. I have to be okay.
Yeah, it's like
I cry in my car. I cry in my classroom. I cry at home. It's a lot, but I try to be strong because at the end of the day, I want this to, like I say, he did not die in vain. I will keep saying it until the day I leave this earth. He did not die in vain. This is going to bring out a lot of stuff to help others and to really bring these people to justice, because it did not have to go down like this.
No, it didn't. And I believe it. I believe that this is going to change a lot.
Yeah.
He didn't die in vain. I'm with you on that. And we're going to keep fighting for him and fighting for y'all over here. And I know Taylor is going to keep at it too.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We love y'all. We do. We love
and
all
we
of
love
you.
You too. We love y'all too.
Thank you.
Marcus, did you want to say anything in closing?
Just keep the faith, keep the fight going. Because we are. I'm not giving up on this at all.
Yeah.
These they took my son from me, and I'm not gonna let it die. So they gonna have to see us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Coming strong.
They gonna have to see us.
Yeah.
And just know, it's an audience. It's almost 300 people in this chat that got y'all back. Taylor and everybody on his end as well. We love y'all. We praying for y'all, and we fighting for y'all. Because prayer without works is dead. So
That's right.
It's about action.
Yeah.
So I got your back, and I will talk to you soon.
Yes, thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all. Thank everybody.
Thank
and thank you for even having us on your platform. We appreciate it.
No, it's an honor. Thank you. Thank y'all. Like, we want justice for him, and we gonna get it. We are gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and end it now, y'all. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. And if y'all got a lot of questions, I could ask them later or whatever. So we're gonna get on out of here.
Whatever y'all have, please chime in to her or doing this show, Miss V, Taylor Gang.
And we can't be scared.
Y'all show them all the love in the world. They've been holding the story down. And can't be scared no more. This got to stop.
Yeah.
This got to stop.
You gotta speak up.
Silence. So if it starts with Javion, then that's what it's gonna be.
Yep.
And we just gonna have to exploit everybody.
Yep.
Period, point blank. Now, how can people get in touch with y'all? What is the best way to send information? Is it through Facebook Messenger?
Yes, absolutely.
Would that be a best way?
Absolutely.
And what channels? What are your channels?
For Facebook?
Yes.
I'm under Roberson Teirra. So they can find me. It's just reverse, and his is I think his name, Marcus Gates.
Marcus Gates and Roberson Teirra.
Yep.
So send all information there that y'all want them to know. And thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please smack the thumbs up on the way out. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace and love, y'all.
Peace and love.
We out.
MTGV LLC. Make this go viral. Make this go higher. Make this go higher. Burn this on fire. Fire, fire, fire. Set it off like a
Justice for Javion. Type it in the chat, y'all. Peace and love, y'all. We out.